All of you know, we had a sad news yesterday. Uh, when devotees may disappear when they leave us. They go to be with Krishna, and we are left behind with a lot of difficulties in coping with their loss. So, as I had mentioned, in this particular homage is because of His Grace Prana Prabhu's involvement with the Hare Krishna weekend programs when we started way back in 2002 in April 19th by Srila Gurudev's Excellence for His Mercy. At the time, I was not even initiated. We were not initiated. And the name Hare Krishna weekend was also not there. So we just started off in our home. And he was the person who used to give lectures, every weekly programs at our home. The first program was on Friday. So we did the first program on Friday. And Friday they do Harinams in the Auckland city. So they said we can't do Harin, we can't do it. It's difficult. Um, so next week onwards we did it on Saturday. Um, so I wanted Saturday to be free, but that is how it is. Saturday became Saturday since then onwards, for the programs. And since then all the preaching programs were on Saturday, everywhere in Auckland. Saturday evenings there also. So I remember I was we bought a house, in Auckland, and 13th of March 2002 we moved to the new house, and 15th of March, excuse me, 15th of March 2002. And I told my wife, we had discussion, why are we buying the house, when we bought the house. So we said we're buying the house only so that we can do a pitching program there. So we both were very clear about this. Krishnadas was very small. Krishnadas was 3 years, probably around that now. Yeah, 3 years. So I used to go to the temple and talk to them, and we had an arrangement that Prabhu will give the class. I'll provide the house, my wife will cook. It happens, but he wouldn't. He said, "Yes, we'll do it soon. We'll do it soon." It was getting delayed, you see. And um, I remember talking then. At the time, I should name the person. I went and we were very close at the time. So with this Padmasambhava Prabhu, I told him that, well, I'm ready, but nobody's coming to the program, nobody's starting the program. He said, don't wait for people to call. Don't call anybody, they'll not come. You just tell them, you're invited to a program on Saturday. That's it, do it now. So I did that. I told them, next Saturday you're invited. I told everybody in the temple. Sunday feast. I told Pran Prabhu. He said he had to go to Melbourne. So he went to Melbourne and he was back. He said, yes, we'll start soon. We'll start soon. So I told him, next Saturday, next Friday, 19th of April, we're going to start the program, and you are invited you to give a class. That's how we started off. And they're all very surprised. Is your man of action? I said, yes, I'm man of action. I'm not man of just talks. So that's how the program started, and he started to give class. And we had very close relationship where he came, and even we bought Bhagavatam set, and he did the first puja of Bhagavatam set in our home. And my wife used to cook feast on Saturday. They would all love it. Absolutely, they would love it. He would love it too. And I used to invite people to come to the program, and they would come to the class. That's how it all started. And many people who are now preaching and become devotees to these programs of Hare Krishna weekend. No? So um, also, I remember when he was a principal headmaster in the Hare Krishna school in Auckland, and then I joined. I got invited to join the board, school board. I was there for 9 years. He was the principal. I was on the board, and then I was the chairman for a couple of years. That's how involvement was very close, and lot of challenges we faced, and I was quite radical in my thinking. And it's difficult for them, but eventually they said, "What you're doing is right. Your thinking was correct." Eventually they said, "You are right." I said, "This is what you're doing." I said, "This is wrong." So we had close relationship then, and 1 year, 1.5 years, and then we were initiated after initiation after 1 year or so, and then I started to give a class, give classes. I mean, 1 year he gave class, yeah, and then I started to give the class. Maharaj said, "You give whatever you understand, speak." Since then, we're doing it. So I always have in my heart that he was he was part of our journey at the beginning, at the very beginning, and all of us. I pray to Guru Maharaj that his programs continue, and I pray for the disciples. I pray for grand disciples. I pray for great grand disciples, and great great grand disciples who are not manifested, and great 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 who are not yet manifested. Every single day, I pray to Guru Maharaj with earnest desire that if it is continuing, let it continue. But the thing is this, that now what we do is follow the mood of Maharaj. And that is very important, to follow the mood of Maharaj. Because there are many moods around. And in preaching, I can tell you one thing, the continuity that we have 22 years by Srila Gurudev Extreme College Mercy in service of Srila Prabhupada is only because of this one reason. The single pointedly, I followed one mood. There are so many people who had so many different moods. Somebody says do this, somebody says do that, do this, do that. And the programs are not there now. And to everyone's surprise, I was the black sheep, I'm a black sheep here in Auckland. And my program is still continuing. This is a fact. And nobody can believe it. This guy's program is still continuing. How is it going on, That's going on. We started off with Prana Prabhu, and I request all of you that in your heart, all the future preachers, especially the devotees in Hare Krishna WECAN programs, and the future preachers, please have a small prayer for him, thank him for his contribution, and contribution of everybody as well, Krishna Prabhu, and all of you have contributed. Like now, those students have become leaders. Yeah, like Avinash Krishna Prabhu, his wife Saraswati Mataji, Srital Prabhu, Virasamrata Mataji, Sanjeev Prabhu, his wife Kali Mataji, Supan Prabhu. No, they have all of you as their students. So you're glorifying them, and you should be. That is how we are doing. This is our mood. So keep a small prayer in your heart for Prana Prabhu as well, his wife, and everybody who has contributed. That I pray, And when I perish, hopefully the prayers will be received by Guru Maharaj. The prayers will not perish. So his departure was glorious, and he'll always remain with me, with our heart, in our heart. We have seen ups and downs, but his qualities are very nice, gentleman qualities. So we've got half an hour to share our realizations. I have done my homage. I may keep adding in the future also. But please, I would like to invite other devotees if you want to do so. Avinash Prabhu, would you like to speak, Prabhuji? You had some association with him too. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Avinash, and thank you, Krishna Samapan Krishna Prabhu, and thank you, Purna Pragna Devi Vasivadaji. So, my association with him was a time past devotee. I remember when I moved to New Zealand in late 2001, and we go to temple only to have prasadam. And then I'll see all those nice devotees. I have not seen Amrish Prabhu. I saw Amrish Prabhu doing some service here and there. And he was, and Yeah, cleaning and all those things. I've seen Amrish also, and I've seen Prana Prabhu also. And I'll go and casually ask some question, and he will very nicely, quietly answer all my question to a new devotee. So I was religious person. I go to all the temples before I focused on Krishna consciousness. So he will answer all my questions very politely, very nicely, and as Amrish was a very gentleman, very gentleman. Yes, I don't know. And then I used to go to temple quite often, and I have met him. I've seen him doing puja and abhishek and all those things. So yeah, I remember those things very vividly. Yesterday also, Prabhuji, in our program here, we did sing Narasimha prayer for him, and I very briefly spoke to devotees here about him, that how he has actually helped me to get me grounded in Krishna consciousness. Because when I went there, uh, yes, I don't know, means I got attracted because of these white bodies. And I remember attending his class in a temple and singing all those verses. I said, how can these white bodies sing verses and Gita and all those things? Why we don't know? So yes, I did have that impact. And then I was not in regular touch with him, but as I have said before, that I used to go to many programs, home program, wherever they invite, I'll just go there, and I'll meet devotees. And I've heard his many classes. I've seen him getting upset. I've seen him talking about Bhagavad Gita very strongly, and I've seen him in many classes. And I was trying to remember his pastimes, his activities. I have also seen him going in some social activities where ISKCON will normally go, and I saw him standing alone, some Hindu function, some this function, all those. I said, what this devotee is doing? That time, it was very new to me. Yeah, before I came in contact with Amrish Prabhu, that was my pastime. So go everywhere, do everything, and then come back. And I have asked him question on the books what Prabhupada has written. So he has definitely played a big role in getting me grounded and getting me connected. And he was very polite. So yes, I was probably remembering his classes yesterday very weirdly. And all the devotees here, when they saw your post, who are actually in the class, they did sing Narasimha prayer after reading your post. I asked them, did you sing? So that's a good thing. So everybody feels connected, and everybody wanted to know what is this. So yeah, we had some quick session about him yesterday also, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Very well. Yes. Anyone else? Your wife would like to say anything, or my wife would like to say, Krishnadas would like to say? We just want to make sure that everybody is covered. Is Saraswati Mataji there? Would she want to say anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. As far as I remember, Prana Prabhu, I always remembered him as Hare Krishna school's principal, and also I have seen him doing a lot of services in temple. When that time we were very new and we used to go to temple and seen him even giving classes in temple, Gita classes. And he used to speak very softly and very polite person. So that's what I remember. And also when my daughter actually moved to Melbourne, I think she also met him there. I think he was there for some time. So he was very nicely talking to her, and he was a very polite and nice person. And I didn't have any direct connection with him, but mostly when I was with my Prabhuji, that's what I have seen him doing services and classes and all those temple services as well. Also, I think when my daughter, we wanted my daughter to go to Hare Krishna school, then we went to see him personally that time, and we wanted to understand how the school is doing and how can she be there, but because the school was only, I think, till 7th standard, and she was already in 6th standard, so that's why we couldn't send her there, because of the because our house was very far from the temple, school as well. So that's all I recall, all the memories for Prana Prabhu, and for a very nice devotee. I just pray to Krishna that because I saw the videos which Prabhuji you have shared with us, and definitely the way he has left the body is very glorious, as Krishna devotee has to leave the body. So it was very touching as well, and thank you for sharing all those videos. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, Mataji. Also, one quality which he had was that he'd always wear dhoti, you know. So Guru Maharaj would always say this. I like this devotee. He always wears dhoti. Wherever he goes, he wears dhoti. You know, at Kurta in New Zealand, Australia, wherever he would go traveling. So yeah, yeah, and very knowledgeable, very very knowledgeable, deep knowledge. You know, he had impacted many people. Yes, Hare Krishna. Anybody else like to say anything before we move to my wife and son? Okay, thank you very much. I think my wife would like to speak.
Hi, Krishna, dear devotees. My apologies, I won't be able to share my video today. As my Prabhuji mentioned, yes, we got, I was just thinking we got to know Prana Prabhu and his family when we were also new in New Zealand. And we came here in 2000, and we started the programs around 2002. And they also originally were from Melbourne and came to New Zealand around the same time, around 2001, 2002. So I was thinking that verse, where Krishna says that you meet like logs of woods, you meet and then you separate also. And in life, there are so many people in this world, but we meet only so many. And some you meet and you forget, and some you meet and you remember. And I have very fond memories, because that was our initial years of Krishna consciousness. And from my perspective, we were very new to the country, and Krishnadas was just only 1 year old when we came to New Zealand. So when we started the programs, he was just 2.5, 3 years old. And when we left India at that time, we were staying all together with my Prabhuji's mother, father, like all of us were staying together. So when we left and when we came to New Zealand, the biggest impact was on Krishnadas, because I remember as a child, he used to look at Prabhuji and he used to ask, he used to like cars a lot. And he used to ask, Papa, Pipi. So he used to ask, where are the cars? What is like completely changed? So he was very, so we were grappling with that. For him to be able to have this transition from being in a house full of people with all the attention, to a new country with no family members, no friends, nothing. We didn't know anyone. We just knew somebody over the internet, and we came here. And so why I'm saying this is because then when the program started and our spiritual quest started in Krishna consciousness. So when we came to New Zealand, it was November 2000. And in less than 15 days, my Prabhuji started to ask, find out where's the Hare Krishna temple, let's call. And then I remember making a call and they're giving us a direction, because it's a little away from the main city. giving us direction, then coming to New Zealand, to the Hare Krishna temple. And when I came there, the first thing I saw was there were so many people who were not Indian bodies, white people, and everyone was, very much into Krishna consciousness, and that really kind of surprised me. And at the first, and I'm giving you this a bit of background because it's relevant in terms of then our journey, with Prana Prabhu and families. So all this was happening, and then, as my Prabhuji mentioned, we started the programs. So when we started the programs, that helped my son Krishnadas transition that phase of being away from the family, because suddenly it was Saturday, and when it was Saturday, he knew as a 3-year-old, because what used to happen is from morning we are busy doing cleaning, this, that, cooking, and then it's 6 o'clock we used to start the program. So yeah, so all this 5 o'clock we used to start the program, and he was ready for it. So the point I'm trying to say here is that this helped him transition, and Pran Prabhu and his family were major contributor to that, because they came home. And I would say about Pran Prabhu that I feel that he was very much Indian at heart, then non-Indian, very much loved everything about Krishna consciousness. I think he was very firm in his conviction about Krishna consciousness. So that was very inspiring. He had, because he was a head teacher. I mean, he was a principal of the school and also a teacher. He could articulate the scriptures very nicely when he used to give us the classes. So these things helped me, myself, my family, and also, as a mother, my son. So he was the principal and teacher for my son. And I would say that we had, I think Krishnadas will share some of the things, but we had I had a very good relief that I was sending my child to the Hare Krishna school, and I knew who the teachers were. So he was one of them. And that is a very big thing for any parent. The other thing I would say that he loved prasadam, and that was always there in our conversations. And so they love to have prasadam, and we love to serve them prasadam. It was very, very nice reciprocation. As a nectar of instruction, they say you serve each other gifts, and you serve each other prasadam also. So that I remember very well. And I remember at every single opportunity we would get, like if there was even a meeting for the school board or anything, then they would suggest, oh Mataji, maybe we can have it at your home, and then we can have prasadam. So that kind of reciprocation was there. And yeah, it was very nice. His wife also, we had a nice association. And I remember, because when they used to love the prasadam, they used to kind of pack the leftovers. So we used to have these little containers in which we used to send the prasadam. And she said, Mataji, you have to stop giving me these containers, because my cupboard is now full of your containers. So it was just reciprocation, very nice reciprocation with her as well. And yeah, I just want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for giving their association, and very nice devotees. And I hope that Chandaguri Mataji, his wife, has strength to for the journey ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Purnapagya Vidasi. Now, Krishnadas, would you like to say a few words, please? Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Obviously, a very sad, but also happy occasion whenever a devotee departs from this material world and goes to Goloka Vrindavan. It's always a joyous occasion, but due to the separation from us in the material world, you do feel some, some grief. And yeah, Prana Prabhu has been a major person, particularly while I was growing up. Because after that, he moved to Australia and he was in India a lot. So after I graduated from Hare Krishna school, and then going through high school, we didn't see him that much because he had moved away from New Zealand. He was in other countries doing other spiritual activities. But as my parents have mentioned, that I went to the Hare Krishna school from the age of 5 to 12. And within that period, Prana Prabhu was the principal of the Hare Krishna school, as well as the teacher as well. So he would also teach us. And that has been the most impactful time which has formed my Krishna consciousness. It was a very important time for any person, those formative years when you're growing up. And the environment that Prana Prabhu created in Hare Krishna school was very, very important, not just for me, but for all the youth who are in Auckland who have gone through the Hare Krishna school. Because as we came to know of Prana Prabhu's condition, where he had cancer, everyone came together, all of the ex-Hare Krishna school students, people older than me, people younger than me, everyone who had already graduated, and people who may not be connected to the temple or Krishna consciousness, who sort of drifted apart a little bit. Everyone came together to talk and to, there was a program that was held in Melbourne for him about 3 or 4 months ago. And plenty of people went, and the rest of us sent videos in expressing our gratitude to Prana Prabhu. So that just goes to show that some of these things do transcend, and that's the connection that you have as a young person. So I would say that all of us, all of the youth who have come through the Hare Krishna school are indebted to Prana Prabhu, specifically Prana Prabhu, because of his role in shaping us to become, or to connect us to Krishna consciousness. In Hare Krishna school, every morning there'd be kirtan, there'd be deity worship. You'd be learning verses, shlokas, and you'd also be obviously there's material curriculum as well, and all these things would be side by side. So and a lot of us to this day still remember the good old days, still remember the good old memories. And Prana Prabhu was, as I said, he was also a teacher. So he would come in and teach us. He would teach us Sanskrit. He would teach us English. So many things, which were, very nice. It's very nice to have that association, that closeness, with someone who's a principal. Obviously, like many of us don't know our principal or our teachers, but we would see them in the temple and during festivals. And so, you'd build that relationship. I remember one nice pastime when I was very young. I was about 7 or so. And we we would have prasadam in the school. So the school would cook the prasadam and we would have it. So I was, the prasadam had fallen from my plate on the ground. So then Prana Prabhu saw that, and at that time he was living just next to the Hare Krishna school. And then he took me to his house and he fed me prasadam personally from his own house, which was, an amazing experience for anyone, let alone someone who's 7 years old, So that just shows his compassion and his kindness. And I mentioned that he was the principal of Hare Krishna school. And he, along with, my father, who was also the chairman of the board of trustees, they did a lot of work together in, bringing Hare Krishna school to a level that it is now. And as a principal, he was really important in that role. And a lot of major things that were done in Hare Krishna school have not really been replicated in other, gurukuls, where a lot of us are still connected to each other, despite 10, 15 years, being passed. So many of our youth are connected to each other because of him and because of our other teachers as well who were there. But yeah, that goes to show the environment that was created there, and a lot of us always remember all those memories. And even he was heavily involved in education and Gurukul, not just for Hare Krishna school, but he had his different projects going on as well. He had his bhakti learning course that he was working on, which is like an online module for other Gurukuls in India, especially. So even in the time of his, up to his departure, he was still very much involved in that, and he wanted to, it was going quite well. So always connected to, Gurukul, which is a very important part for any person growing up, is their education at a young age. And so for that, I'm very grateful to Prana Prabhu. And all of us ex-Hare Krishna school students are very grateful to Prana Prabhu for that. Because it was a very, very important time for all of us. And we're still here. So, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Bol, Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yes, and as I said that, Hare Krishna school at the time was very small, you see. So we had about 4 or 5 classes, So it's not like schools in bigger schools in New Zealand or in India where you got thousands of children, That's about 10, 20, 30, 40 children, 50 children, maximum. So it was a very different environment, small school, and about 4, 5 classes, we used to combine lectures also, students also. Okay, so with this, I think we conclude today's homage program. Hare Krishna, His Grace Prana Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna Koti Mataji ki jai. Jagat Prabhu Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna Nitai Gauchandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.